Alright, sup everybody, welcome back to the Path of Rage and a short update on Star Citizen for the past week. Last week still had no Inside Star Citizen as they are on their current break. However, that will end this week on Thursday and we'll have a new one. So hopefully we'll start to see some more of the features that we're looking for, maybe some more in-depth on the current status of the personal hangars or whatnot. I look forward to seeing that again. We did have a Star Citizen Live last week, and it was Making Ship Up Part 2. You see the footage in the background a bit while I'm talking about it. It was Part 2 of the same episode from the previous week, where they build a concept ship using standard parts in the engine and discuss the process. Again, it's not a lot for me to really relate to you guys, that you wouldn't be better off watching the episode anyway. It's very much for people who are into the design and how the tools actually work, part of the audience, and not so much giving away any new news. Right now it is currently Alien Week, going on to the 20th, so a couple more days by the time of this recording going live. Backers who have already pledged into the game will have access for free to 4 Xeon ships: the Cartual, the Santok Yai, the Gadak, and the Apoanox Gravbike. They're all worth checking out. It's part of a ship sale, so you can go onto the website and look at those and the other alien offerings that they have. I'm a bit burnt out on ship sales at this point. I want to get back into more details in the development process and how it's going and where we are coming in the next few weeks, especially with 3.2.3 and 4.0 being on the horizon. I get that chip sales are very much how this project is funded. I'm not opposed to it, but we've been kind of inundated with it with Fleet Week and whatnot, so it is what it is. Log in if you've already got an account and give these ships a try if you haven't already. And if you're in there playing around and someone hasn't given them a try, well, spawn one up for them and let them take it for a spin. One thing that's going on in the current live build is Xenothreat as well, and unfortunately there is issues with it. It's really buggy. Frame rates are stupidly low at times. A lot of desync is going on. Now, as you can see here from the Evocati message of the day, they have a hotfix channel opened up on the launcher that should go live if there's no issues. That'll fix some of these client crashes and deadlocks and whatnot, and it should go live later on today, if it isn't already by the time you see this recording. But in any case, they are working to improve it a little bit. We'll see how it actually goes. With the patch notes here, we'll go get a little bit into these more than we normally do. With the new Firebrand that came out with all the missiles on it, there was some controversy about the speed of them and how many it had and all that kind of stuff, and they've increased the missile lock min-max ranges, reduced their speeds, and they balanced the fuel tank amounts and reduced the salvage cover-up rewards. This needed to be done. The ship wasn't performing the way it was laid out like it should be. This should make it better. We'll find out again as more testing goes forward. The Hornet got a tuning update, and this was really needed because for whatever reason with this latest patch, the Hornet was just the ship. If you didn't have a Hornet, you were going to lose. There was no other reason to take anything else. So they've adjusted that and made the ship more in line with where it's supposed to be. They increased the missile count on the Firebird, like I said, doubling it. The emissions are lower by 40%, and the Retaliators now have size 3 guns on all the turrets, and updated the current turret constraints. And in the core tech, they removed the vehicle entrance markers when in a different zone or too far away, which I'm so happy for. I can't tell you how many times I had a pip on my screen telling me ship entry that had a list on it like 50 million miles away. Like, I shouldn't need to see that. More performance optimizations for the client and for vehicle hit damage, and then full ship weapons got an audio pass. Now the cool thing is they've actually fixed quite a few bugs here, especially one that was causing a generic 30k. I got hit with this a couple of times. The shield effects should now play correctly. Sometimes you couldn't tell if shields were working or were not. The Saber Raven base paint will no longer replace the Firebird almost entirely. Missing jump town locations was a big one. Just quite a few fixes. Something for Arena Commander as well that caused the squads to be separated while in online matches. And then they fixed 6 client crashes, 5 server crashes, a main deadlock, and an out-of-system memory client crash. Moving on from bug fixes, because we're all really waiting for 323.2. Let's be honest with each other. The incremental fixes in 3.2.1a or b, whatever it comes, is great. We like that, but we're waiting for 3.23. However, something recently just happened in the newest build where people were using duping exploits for cargo and making ridiculous amounts of money, but would also result in just piles of ships being left all over the verse and cluttering the place up. And CIG has actually gone in and suspended over 600 accounts for 2 months for using these exploits. I am not opposed to this. I know some people might say, well, why do that? It's an alpha, and they did pay for the game. Well, most cheaters that get banned have paid for a game as well. But the whole thing about finding that exploit, well, once you find it and you report it, that's the point of it. You shouldn't keep using it because it throws out their testing completely. Like if they were testing the economy while this patch was going on with the missions and whatnot, and the economy was completely broken because of this one exploit. And if you look here, what I've got posted up on the screen, they said they completed an investigation into multiple exploits. So people were using more than one. So don't use the exploits, folks. If you find one, go to the issue council, report it, and leave it from there. Let them actually test the game for the features that they want to test in a way that gives them valuable data to actually fix problems. I don't feel sympathy. I'm sorry for anyone that went, oh my, look at this, I can make $1 billion in an hour, and not see something like this coming. And that's it right now for the update for Star Citizen this week. It's been a very quiet week for CIG. They've got their heads down, cranking out the fixes to this patch, trying to get it working, especially trying to get Xenothreat up to a playable state, which I'm absolutely for. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to complain that there's not a lot of news to report on anything new, because Xenothreat is a lot of fun. I enjoy it a lot when it works. When it works, it's just a very, very fun experience that I would highly recommend to anyone. It really shows off the promise behind Star Citizen and what they're going for. So, you know what? Yeah, I don't mind them taking a little bit more time to get it working properly and especially smoothly. I imagine that this has a lot to do with server meshing and the replication layer and how big events like that affect the back end. So, you know, it may be frustrating to us right now trying to get into it, but, you know, hopefully in the end it's fixed and better and just a more consistent playtime. But in any case, that has been the update for Star Citizen this week. Give me a thumbs up if you thought I did a good job, a thumbs down if you didn't. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and until next time, I've been Rage at Games, and I'll see you in the verse.